Yeah, so in the yoga system, aṣṭāṅga-yoga is one of the yoga system. We know about karma yoga, we know about jnana yoga, then this is aṣṭāṅga-yoga, and then bhakti yoga. So Krishna in this chapter will be talking about the aṣṭāṅga-yoga. Okay, and in chapter Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare. In chapter 5, Krishna does talk about in the last two verses, 27, 28, he talks about the aṣṭāṅga yoga a little bit, right? So as a continuation, because whenever the teacher is giving the knowledge, you want to give the complete knowledge. Yet at the same time, you know that, hey, this particular part may not be that important, but for the completion of the giving the complete knowledge, I should I should teach you this, right? So that is the viewpoint you'll see. And why? Because in the first two verses, you'll see that even though Krishna this chapter is about the aṣṭāṅga yoga, this topic is about the aṣṭāṅga yoga, but Krishna will talk about the benefit of niṣkāma-karma-yoga. So you'll keep emphasizing the niṣkāma-karma-yoga even though he's teaching the aṣṭāṅga yoga. And it's not that aṣṭāṅga yoga is not completely useful. It is the whole process for the Kali Yuga is very difficult to do. And you'll see, as you read about the aṣṭāṅga yoga, you'll see, oh man, this is very difficult to do in Kali Yuga. Okay, but we should be aware there are things from the aṣṭāṅga yoga which makes a lot of sense, which we all can utilize. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu, very good to see you. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Wah, aap dono log. That's such a wonderful thing to see both of you. You can sit on the sofa, Prabhu. आराम से बैठ जाओ. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, she's upstairs. She's like having a little cough and cold. So she was just, I think, she's just taking rest, I think. Yeah. All right. So, okay. So the first section is advancing the Aṣṭāṅga Yoga. So we'll go into the technicality. There are 8 steps. So Aruksha, which is the preliminary, and then Arudhya stage, which is the advanced stage. And then the stages of the Aṣṭāṅga Yoga practice. So all Krishna goes into the detail of all the 8 steps. And then what is the necessity of controlling the mind? Why to control the mind, and how to control the mind. So both will be talked about. And then the destination of an unsuccessful yogi. So people who are trying to do the mind control want to become a yogi. The question comes, oh, it's such a hard one. If I don't become a yogi, then what should I do? So the destination of an unsuccessful yogi. And the last, then the Krishna concludes, okay, I have taught you all the yoga system, but you know what is the topmost yoga? It's a bhakti yoga. So that's how the chapter will conclude. There are 47 verses. So with that, we can start with our first verse. Any question before we begin? Okay. I wanted to use this PowerPoint actually. Okay. So few things. This is a very nice, okay, chapter at a glance. And you all will appreciate it. We are all running, right? Initially as a child, run for fun, then running for school, then running after opposite sex, then running for money, then running for health, then running for hospital, right? And in the last stage, when we say rest in peace. Because throughout the life we are running, 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 running. We don't stop and think why we are running. Makes sense, right? It is very light-hearted, but you'll see this is the fact of life. Right? We say rest in peace. Why do we say rest in peace? Because throughout the life we ran. Right? We ran throughout the life. And we forget that this human body is so important. So important. We have to utilize this. We have to really take this in your heart and think that when I'm prioritizing the thing in my life, is it I'm running after something, or am I making enough time for me to stop and think? Right? So in that case, we won't rest in peace. From here, then we will transcend into the spiritual world. If we utilize our life properly, we'll transcend the spiritual world. So the Bhagavad Gita is about the peace while we are living and even after death. So the peace formula was everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna controls everything, and Krishna is my best friend. So this was the summary of, you can see in a way, chapter 5 talks about everything belongs to Krishna, and we know Krishna controls everything, and we know Krishna who does both of these, he is my best wishing friend also. He's always looking for us. Okay, he's always looking for us. So we have covered lamentation, first chapter, second chapter, identity. What is our identity? Soul. Duty. We have to understand that when we are given a body, we all have a duty, and we have to do the duty. Then we gain the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, right? The Krishna is Supreme Personality, and what is our role, how to learn about it. And then chapter 5, when we know the duty, and get the knowledge, we apply both of together, then what is the result? We get the peace and happiness. Okay, that's how the chapter 5 concludes. And the chapter 6 is about the meditation. So this is the last chapter of the Karma Yoga section. Right? Even though we say Karma Yoga, but it has the Jnana Yoga section, it has the aṣṭāṅga-yoga section, all those stuff. Okay. So this point in time, let's go and into our. So we'll read the verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karotiya Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Nirganirina Chakriha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as is obligated is in the renounced order of life. And he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. So let's parse it out. So what Lord is telling, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, means who is working in niṣkāma-karma-yoga, unattached to the fruits of his work, and who works as he is obliged, as he is obligated. Obligated means he is following his duty. So if I know my duty and I'm not attached to the work and I'm working with sincerity, then that person is already in the renounced order of life. Okay, so niṣkāma-karma-yoga is just like a living in renounced order. Just like basically that a girastha can be called a sannyasi if he is not attached. So that the girastha can live as a husband and wife together because now, but they live a renounced life. They live a renounced life from the attachment perspective and understanding the duty. So and then those kind of a girastha, they get all the power like what the mystic yogi would get, right? Mystic yogi would get. Not he who lights no fire and performs no duty, because we think that only who is in the renounced order, one who's not lights no fire and performs no duty, like a sannyasi. So it's not that they are the sannyasi. They can be also sannyasi. They are sannyasi if they're following all the regulations. But then a girastha can be sannyasi who is unattached and who is performing the duty. Okay, so गौरव प्रभु आप भी सन्यासी बन सकते हैं, आपका भी स्कोप है. है पाता जी? मना करोगे आप? मना लोगे? नहीं, सन्यासी आपके साथ रहते हुए सन्यासी है वो. अगर वो if he's doing the duty, he's not going to. So what is telling? He need not leave the house. He can be a good husband, but he's not attached to you. He's not attached to you in a bodily way. He will do as a duty, as a good husband, whatever needs to take care of. He'll take care of his son, daughter. He earn money, but he's not attached to anything. If tomorrow the situation changes where he has to say that, okay, I'll do something else, but he's not attached. So that person who knows that what is true Krishna consciousness and they are executing Krishna consciousness at every moment, those people can be considered a sannyasi. And we have a good example. So that was we all have a scope to become a sannyasi in the grihastha life, and that did not mean that he has to leave and he has to put the orange cloth. No, that's the reason I'm emphasizing. We all can be a sannyasi without putting the orange dress. Without putting the orange dress, if we really follow the Krishna consciousness to the T. Okay, so like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. For example, Bhakti Vinod, let me cite. He comes in the Guru Parampara. He was a Grihastha. He had 9 kids. Uh, he was a magistrate, top-notch magistrate that the British government, they put the special railway line to his house. Because he can execute, like his consciousness is so clear, he can solve the cases just like that. He can give the judgment will be right, everybody will agree with it, right? And he wrote so many books. So people used to turn their watches by looking that, okay, now he's coming out of the house, it's 10 a.m. Right? He'll go work 10 to 1, he comes back, takes some rest, eat little prasad, and then again work, then come back, take care of the family for some times, eat, um, take some rest, and then throughout the night, then he's writing books. Then take some rest, few hours. You should go and look. You can look up his schedule. Is talked about, right? So people like him, they are just like in a renounced order, even though they are living like a garasta, because his focus was Krishna consciousness. Everything he was doing for Krishna. His main goal was writing the books. While he is working, everybody should get the judgment the way they are entitled to. He's not chit-chatting, he's not wasting time. When he's coming, as a father, he will make sure that there is order in the family. Okay, they are all being taken care of. He's not attached to the wife. That why I'm spending time. I'm taking her for the movie or this. So it's just that so one can live a renounced life in a family life. Make sense? I just wanted to clarify that it is possible. So in this chapter, the Lord explains that the process of the eightfold yoga system is a means to control the mind and the senses. However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Although the eightfold yoga system is recommended in this chapter, the Lord emphasizes that the process of karma yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is better. So you see, first verse itself, Krishna is telling that he's telling that, oh, you may say that you want to get into the renounced order, but it's not really required. Karma yoga is good for you. Lord Chaitanya, the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation, prays in this way. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kame, mama janmani ishware, bhavatad bhaktir ahituki tvai. What it says, O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth. So this is the renounced order. I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is the causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. So I can earn money, but I'm not interested in accumulating wealth. I'm earning the money because it's required to take care of the family, some of the family obligations, but I'm not attached at all. Once the time comes, I'll donate everything, and I leave the house. Right? Prabhupada did, right? He lived his life as a garasta, but then when the time came, when he saw that wife is not listening to him, and then there is no means they are all okay, he just left the house. He left the house and then he became a sannyasi, and then he did within the 10 years, he did all those things, not to enjoy beautiful women. So one can be married, but if there is no enjoying propensity, one is okay, I'm married, I want to enjoy my woman. That's the one. But if the propensity that I have produced the child, whatever was required, I have done it. Now there is no need to enjoy her. But yeah, we all both can work together in the Krishna consciousness, like a Vaishnava and Vaishnavi, right? And even this is the people get hung up. How many followers? Oh, I am a teacher. I have so many students. I have so many disciples, and that gives the ego. So there shouldn't be any tinge of attachment to the followers. And when that happens, one is in a renounced order. So this is the verse Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote these 8 verses, Siksha Ashtakam. We recite it every day in the temple. Next verse. Yam sannyasam iti prahur.
Yam sannyasam iti prahur.
Yogam tam vidhi Pandava.
Yogam tam vidhi Pandava.
Naha asnanashta sankalpo.
Nahi asannyasasta sankalpo.
Yogi bhavati Kṛṣṇa.
Yogi bhavati Kṛṣṇa.
What is called renunciation? You should know to be the same as yoga. So, renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga or linking oneself with the Supreme, O son of Pāṇḍu, for one who can never become a yogi unless he renounces a desire for sense gratification. So, important part. What is called renunciation can also be called the yogi. Renunciation is I am leaving out everything. Yogi is they they are living like a grahastha. They are living like a grahastha, but they are not attached to the sense gratification. Their desire is always to serve the Lord. So they are called yogi. So same yogi did not go to the jungle and live in the jungle. Did not be. Okay, it's not that they are just going and maintaining the posture. A yogi can be in the Grihastha life. So Krishna is telling a renunciate and yogi, they are one and the same if they are not attached to a sense gratification. So real sannyasa yoga or bhakti means that one should know his constitutional position as the living entity. So what is our constitutional position as the living entity? Yes, we are part and parcel of the Lord, and our duty is to serve the Lord. So first, part and parcel, then serve the Lord. That's my duty. So that's our constitutional position. As long as when we know that, then we are doing the perfect yoga system. But of course, just not knowing, acting on it also. But a person in Krishna consciousness has no opportunity to engage his senses in anything which is not for the purpose of Krishna. Therefore, a Krishna conscious person is simultaneously a sannyasi and a yogi. The purpose of knowledge and of restraining the senses, as prescribed in the jnana and yoga process, is automatically served in Krishna consciousness. So, whatever is prescribed in the jnana system and the aṣṭāṅga-yoga system is automatically gets served when the one is doing Krishna consciousness. So this is purport Prabhupada is writing in a context, because you'll see starting chapter 7 to 12, you'll see that what bhakti yoga means, how to do the bhakti yoga. When one is doing bhakti yoga, you are doing you are doing the karma yoga, you're doing the jnana yoga, you're doing the aṣṭāṅga yoga. All you are getting the result of everything. Okay. Yes, Prabhu, question?
Yeah, try to understand the difference between sannyasi and a yogi.
Sannyasi and a yogi. Sannyasi is just like in the beginning, they renounce, right? They say that sannyasi, you become brahmachari and then you never enter into the grahastha ashram.
Okay.
Okay? While a yogi can be, they do sannyasi, the grahastha ashram, but they can be yogi also, right? Because they are following some written rules and regulation. And both, what Krishna first says, they're both one and the same, as long as they are controlling the sense. Because for renunciate, the main thing is stopping the sense gratification.
No attachment.
Right? No attachment. Same for the yogi also. Same thing. Okay. And why Girastha? Girastha. So I cannot say that I was making a joke, Gaurav Prabhu, that you can be a sannyasi. And so right thing is, Gaurav Prabhu, you can be yogi. And if he can be yogi, then he's equal to sannyasi.
So are sannyasis because they are getting away from their duties of leaving their family? Are they not the right
They're not.
yogis?
No. Yogi. So sorry. Again. Tell. What did you say? The last point.
The sannyasis because they are leaving their duty of being of
Household.
the household.
Householder. Okay.
Are they not the right yogis?
Are they not the right yogi?
Because they are getting rid of they are not doing their duty.
Oh, okay. You're saying that if so, see, one sannyasi is, and we'll talk about when there will be section on the four order of life. So one is one never get married. So in that case, no issue. What
Right.
you're saying that if they got married
Mhm.
and then they abandoned their family,
Right.
so are they leaving their duty? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So there is always the higher purpose. So it has to be done. So let's say if somebody is doing, I've got fed up of my wife. All the time they're fighting. All my relatives are fighting. I don't want anything. I leave it. I'm going, I'm becoming sannyasi. Yes, they ran away from their duty. But there's a calling. There's an inner calling. Before that, also, while he was like married, he just totally focused on the spiritual path all the time. He's not very much interested in the wife, not very much interested in the child, even though taking care of, he's just totally aloof, totally aloof. And there is a calling and there is a need, right? That person under the order of the guru can become a sannyasi, and so that's totally fine. In that case, it's not leaving the duty. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became a sannyasi when he was only 24-year-old. His wife was only 16-year-old. She was beautiful. So, but then he thought that, hey, I have to teach the people the bhakti yoga. And the need was people used to, that time, people will only trust the sannyasis. If you see somebody's coming with the orange dress, suddenly you become like, oh, Hari Bol, right? You just become like this. That's a normal tendency. He said, if I have to teach, I have to get to the next stage of the order of human life, which is sannyasa order. So he took a hard step of becoming a sannyasi. It was very painful for the wife and the mother, right? Especially the mother was in pain, but one thing she requested, that he wanted to go to Vrindavan. He said that she said that, do not, if you can not go to Vrindavan, if you can live in Puri, that way Jagannath Puri, then I can come from Bengal. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed. So it's not that, see, as a sannyasi, it's not that he ignored his mother. And whenever the mother came, he met her, right? Um, and mother, after that, after he became a sannyas, both mother and wife, they lived a great life of austerity. There is a story that his wife would only, all the day she will be chanting Krishna's name, and then the number of malas, the japa she will do, she will take out the one rice. And whatever the rice, the number of rounds she has done, that's the rice she will cook, and that's what she will eat. That's it. So how many rounds you can do, and that's the mantra, that's the way they live life. That's it. So yes, so both. You got it? Yeah.
Good answer. Thank you.
Aru Chormunir Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate Yoga Ruddhasya Tasyeva
Yogarudhasya tasyeva
Samaha Karanam Uchyate.
tamaha karanam uchyate.
For one who is a neophyte in the eightfold yoga system, work is said to be the means. And for one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. Okay, so let's try to understand it. For one who is neophyte, what do we understand by the neophyte? Starter,
New to the
beginner,
yoga
yes,
system.
beginner in the eightfold yoga system. So who's beginner in the aṣṭāṅga-yoga system, work is said to be the means. So for them, work is the mean. So they should continue working, and that is the mean. And for one who is already elevated in the yoga, one who is advanced, for them, cessation of all material activity is said to be the means. So initially, in the Aṣṭāṅga Yoga, first part, you should continue working. Work at Boeing, work at Microsoft, work at War, you do business, whatever you are doing, do. And then through that, one is progressing. At certain stage, leave all the work. Cessation, we have to leave that work. And then only you will be able to make the progress. So that's how the eightfold yoga system works, okay? So the process of linking oneself with the Supreme is called yoga. That we understand, everybody understand? Linking ourselves to Supreme is called yoga. But all in all, the complete ladder is called yoga and may be divided into three parts, namely Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. The beginning of the ladder is called Yoga Ruksha stage, and the highest rank is called Yoga Ruddha. So you remember, this is my ugly drawing. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, aṣṭāṅga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. This is the end of a ladder system, right? This is how we understand. But the goal of each yoga system is ultimately to get to Kṛṣṇa, right? But there is, for the karma yoga, it's a sequential process. You do the karma yoga, then you have to do jnana, then aṣṭāṅga, and then you go and devotee comes into your life as a bhakta, and then you go and achieve the Lord. While somebody can directly go and do the bhakti yoga. So similarly, somebody can directly go and do the jnana yoga. Somebody can directly go and do the aṣṭāṅga yoga, provided they are cleansed off. So for the jnana yoga and aṣṭāṅga yoga, karma yoga is a requirement. Without doing the work, one should not go and become a jnana yogi, or one should not become a aṣṭāṅga yogi. Because that's how the purification happens. Without the purification, one cannot practice the jnana yoga and aṣṭāṅga yoga. A Krishna conscious person, however, is situated from the beginning on the platform of meditation because he always thinks of Krishna, and being constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, he is considered to have ceased all material activities. So in this case, activities are not ceased. What is ceased? Material activities. So activities are not bad. What is bad is material activities. When I'm doing the activity for my own thing, senses, then that is bad. If I'm doing activity for Krishna, because that's the goal, then that's a good activity to do. Okay, so this is the practical aspect. When I was reading Bhagavad Gita, when I was being taught, this was the very big eye opener for me. That, oh, not all activities are bad. In fact, anything I can do, if I'm doing for Krishna, that's kind of a yoga. I'm doing a yoga because I am doing for the Krishna. So, but there are two facts. So one is I'm doing the action, yet at the same time I have to be thinking also about Krishna all the time. I'm planning for Krishna. Okay, what should be done? So yesterday there was the birthday celebrated for Rasavati Mataji. She's Rasavati Mataji. See, so if you go to the kitchen, whenever we are there, we'll introduce you to Rasavati Mataji. She has been in the temple since the year 2000. She came when she was pretty young. She has been married, but throughout the day she cooks prasadam for the temple. She's cooking for the food truck, cooking for, in the temple, anytime you go, there's lunch prasadam, there's dinner prasadam. She's cooking for the Lordship eats. Um, uh, Total 6 times made the offering. 3 times is a big offering, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Big offering. She's cooking for that. She does the pujari seva also. And many times there are people who are catering from the temple, and there are multiple events like the Anand Mela and all those. She's cooking for everybody all the time, and she's managing her sadhana. And whenever people talk to her, she's always talking about Krishna, always talking about Krishna. So even though she's cooking all the, like, she's like a saint. If you really want to see what a working saint look like, just go and meet her. She's from Fiji, and she's 50 now, 55, 455, I think. And she's telling that at this age she's able to do because she says that because devotees always pray for her, right? So she gives amazing, amazing lady. Good example of this. Okay. यदा हीनेन्द्रियार्थेषु न कर्मसव अनुष्यजते सर्वसंकल्प सन्यासी योगरुद्धस्तदोच्यते. A person is said to be elevated in yoga when, having renounced all material desire, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fruitive activities. A person is said to be in elevated yoga ruddha stage, where, having renounced all material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages. So is not acting sense gratification, and not engaging in fruitive activities. So of course, in fact, his dealing is not with any materialistic person. So anybody who wants to do business, I don't need to talk to you, right? You're a family person, you want some kind, I don't need to talk to you, right? So that's the person. So before I go, I think let me introduce you to the eightfold yoga system. I have a slide on, I think over here, or it may be here. Yeah, over here, maybe. Yeah. Come on, move. It's not moving. Okay. This is chapter 2, I think. Okay, so this is let's go over some of the different kind of a karma. Okay, so here's a good elaboration that there are different kind of karma we have. When we are doing the karma yoga, there are different kind of karma. So there's something called nitya karma. So nitya karma is our daily karma, like obligatory, like we have to take shower, do our japa. We have to do if you have the mantra diksha, then you will do the Gayatri mantra. And in the olden time, Vedic time, every day people will do the homam, fire sacrifice. Every day they will do. In Kali Yuga, people don't do it because it's hard to do it. Then so that's nitya karma. Everybody, that's the obligatory duties. The people who are following the varna ashrama, they are supposed to do that. फिर नैमित्तिक karma, occasional obligatory duty. So there are occasionally. So there are 16 or 40 so 16 major samskara, which is like garbhadharan samskara, garbhadharan, most of the people know. Upnayanan, Upnayanan is the string is very common in South India. Prabhu, North India we are little fallen. South India, they still follow the very good norm. So Upnayanan, Shraddha ceremony, we know Shraddha for our parents, marriage ceremony. These are all marriage ceremony. We don't go and become a couple without not getting married, right? There's a fire sacrifice, right? So these are called the Namittika karma. Then Kamya karma, rites done to attain specific desired results. Oh, I want something, right? So Jyotisama-yoga or reaching heaven. Oh, I want the better elevation to the heavenly kingdom. So Kamya karma means I want to enjoy. For that, I will do certain rituals. And this is pretty common in India right now. Everybody want to do this. Oh, give me promotion, give me this, do this. We'll go and do the yajna for that, right? Then prayashchita karma. If we do the prayashchita, you understand, when we do make the mistakes, then we do the prayashchita karma. And then nishedha karma, the things which we shouldn't be doing. So that is also yajna, because if somebody, you are so angry, you want to kill somebody, but then you are restraining yourself, right? So you are restraining. So these are all the different kind of a broad classification of karma. Okay, and again, but let me repeat it. This is the people who are following the varnashrama. So one is people are living the animalistic life. Eat, sleep, mate, defend. That's it. That's my life. They don't do anything. Next level is people are aware. They want to do the more piety. So the varnashrama. And I'll talk about the varnashrama also in a bit. The varnashrama system. So they should be following these things. But then there are people who are bhaktas. What Kṛṣṇa says, if you are following the path of love for Kṛṣṇa, then none of these things are required, because you are achieving all the rituals by serving the Kṛṣṇa. Because whenever I serve, when I'm going to a demigod for anything, ultimately who the result goes to? Kṛṣṇa. That was in chapter 5, last verse. Says Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam, whatever he's telling, I am the Bhokta of everything. Whatever yajna you do, I am the Bhokta. All the result comes to me. Right? So he says that. So sannyasi, and we talked about sannyasi and yogi is the same. Okay, so ashram. Okay, now let me talk about the ashram. Okay. This is the ashram system. Becomes hard to bring everything. Okay. Let me show it, then I'll slide it. Okay. So there are 4 stages: Brahmachar, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Brahmacharya is typically 0 to 25. The main 2 characteristic is acquiring knowledge and being a celibate. Acquiring knowledge, the goal is acquiring knowledge, and to not get distracted, one should be celibate. Grihastha life is getting married with a good girl, God conscious girl. If not, you bring her to the God conscious level. You develop the God conscious kid. That's the Grihastha. You make the money should be used for all the three other ashrams. So Grihastha is the one who is generating the money for the brahmachari, vanaprastha and sannyasi. Okay, so Grihastha ashram. So it's a Grihastha. Vanaprastha is okay. All the family duties has been taken care of. So okay. So in the Grihastha, the main thing is economic development and raising the God conscious family. Two things. Okay. For a Vanaprastha, again it is detaching, developing knowledge and detaching. These are two things. So here there can be two things. One is husband wife can mutually decide that we will part our ways and we will focus on Krishna, the Lord. Okay? Or they can be together and they can travel together to all the holy place, they can preach, they can go and hear, they can study. So basically they are together, they are living like a celibate and they are focusing on the progress towards Krishna consciousness. They can also be called Vanaprastha. Okay? So, and then sannyasa order after that 75 to 100 typically, when one also leaves his wife and leaves the wife with the son. So one doesn't leave the wife to tend herself. No, women should always be in the protection of somebody, family member, because otherwise we know that society doesn't like a single woman. That's how. So women should be ideally left in the care of the son. That's the reason we need to have a God conscious son. Otherwise, if it's not God conscious, oh, mother is a burden on me, right? So and then the guy, they live a very austere life, and then they leave their body thinking about Krishna. So this is the sannyasa. This is the varna ashram system. It's called varna ashram. So based on varna, there is ashram. So now, so you see ashram, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. Varna is, one may have the teaching propensity. They are born teacher. They want to teach. They are Brahmins. Kshatriya, they are the administrator class. Fighter, they always have a tendency to make sure law and order is protected. All the righteous things has been done. If it's not done, they become very angry. You'll see, right? They become Vaishyas, they are very smart. They know how to generate the money. Anytime they can generate the money. And Sudras are working class. Working class who like, you give them the order, you do this, they will do it. Okay? So who are the good Sudras? All the computer programmers these days. They are good Sudras. They get the order, CEO to this, to this, to this, they do the work. Or PM, you do the work. So we are all in the Sudra class. Sudra, we shouldn't think that in India the class order is the person who is doing the very lowly job, cleaning the road or taking out my garbage, they are Sudra. Anybody who's taking the order, and it's not considered to be a menial or bad job. In any system, in any social order, all the things to work, there has to be these four class of people. So there has to be working class, there has to be class who is able to generate the money. Okay? Vash. And then Kshatriya, the people who can protect, maintain the law and order, and the people who teach. But teaching, this teacher is, if the teacher is earning money, then they become the Sudras. Okay? So these teachers are, they are not working for you. You can give them the dakshina. You can give them the dakshina, and we are required to give the dakshina, but they don't work for you. Because as soon as they start working for you, what happens? Because they become employee, then they will listen. So I'm a teacher, but you are paying me salary. I know what Sridhar wants. Let me teach him what he wants, which will make him happy. So then I'm not giving you the authentic knowledge. I'll only teach you something what you want to hear. They see the problem with that. So this is the four varna. What has happened? Chatur Varna Maya system. So these four Chatur Varnas are based on the Gun Karma Vibhakasha. Gun and Karma Vibhag means it has been divided. But what has happened? It has become a caste system. What the Brahmins did, when they start losing the Brahminical qualities, to maintain their stature in society, they said, oh, if you are my son, you are Brahman also. Whether you are a drunkard, doesn't really matter, you are a Brahman also. So that's what happened. But it is to be divided based on the Varna and Ashrama. Now, if you said whether you are a Brahman, whether you are a Kshatriya, how do you know? That's the next question. So that is where we have to analyze ourselves. And astrology chart also says something, but we can analyze our own psychophysical nature, where you get attuned to. A lot of people, I have a friend who worked at Microsoft for a long time, and now he's running his business. He's telling that, man, I wasted my life. I should have been working for me throughout my life. And naturally, he's like a Vaishya mentality. He knows how to generate the money. He's very sharp in that. Like he ran the real estate and he can do the buildings, and though he never studied for it, but he's just natural in it. So business class. Okay, so we all can analyze ourselves and we'll know. And some of you may get like, if you hear this, there's something not happening correctly, people not following, you're just angry. That's wrong, man. That's totally wrong. That some people get angry anyway. So I'm not talking about those people. Not those people. Okay, but they're sensible people, very intelligent, very smart, but they want things to happen in a right way. They are a Kshatriya class people. I know one friend I see in temple. I know he's a Kshatriya class. We joke that his talwar, his talwar in English, what do you call?
Sword.
Sword. His sword is always half ready. so, so, so anyway, so this is the social order. Okay, so so what is the lesson? There are many stages in any journey. We should not take those stages at the end. Rather, we must keep moving forward. That is when success comes. Okay, so now here, this is what. So 8 stages. What is the 8 stages? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. How many of you are hearing these stages for the first time? Sridhar, मालूम था पहले से?
No.
सुना था सब? Okay. And because you are already in Samadhi, right?
Yeah, right.
Last time Prabhu also told.
Huh?
We got the whole 18 chapter summary.
Oh, yeah, that time Prabhu also talked about, right? Yeah. So it's the initial stage, the beginning stages. The first 4 stages is called Yoga Aruksha. And the last 4 is called Yoga Ruddha. So Yama Niyama. So see, these days we are doing all the yoga system. People are focusing on the asana, but they don't hear about the Yama Niyama. First we have to do Yama Niyama, then we should do the asana. But there's no Yama Niyama. We do only the asana, and then after the pranayama, controlling the air, life air. So next slide will talk. This is the good slide for you to understand here again a little bit. You see, what are yamas? Ahimsa. 5, basically restraining the senses. This is yamas is don'ts. Don't do this. Okay. So no, not hurting anyone. So even in that case, not okay. You shouldn't just hurt animal, even the plants, right? Human beings, don't even hurt them, right? All those things. Not hurting. Yes, Prabhu, please come here. माता जी आपको भी आना है तो आ सकते हो इधर हो. हस्बैंड के बगल में बैठ सकते हैं, अलाउड है. Okay, so not satya, not lying. Okay, not stealing, sense control. You know, in the Grahastha ashram, one can be sense controlled. It's hard, but one can be sense controlled. And not possessiveness. So it's not I'm accumulating, keep accumulating. Accumulation is considered to be bad thing. So as the things are coming, we take care of the family needs. We save some because this is the life we have to save, because these days kids don't take care of the parent due to all the situations. So you save for yourself, and then we keep making the donation. So we have to develop that habit that we should get to a stage when we are able to safely donate 50% of our life savings. But initially, first try to get to the 10%. And to get to 10%, start from $1,000 donation, then get to 5,000. Slowly try 10% of your income every year. When you're doing your taxes, if you don't see 10%, you say, oh, I missed the mark this time. So that's the good. Niyama, purity, containment, austerity, study, and surrender. So there's always awareness that, I have to surrender to the Lord. Okay, that's where the Kriya Yoga, you hear a lot of this, right? These are the part of the Kriya Yoga. Austerity, study, and surrender. And then containment, one should be content with what we have received in our life. Even with our relationship, the spouse I have got in my life, we should be content with that. Swachya, purity. We have to maintain the external purity and internal purity both. Okay, external purity, taking shower, when we are going to the bathroom, washing hands. So those are things we know, right? When we are cooking with purity. We are like, it's not that I'm eating and then while I'm cooking also, right? People do like this, they're very modern, like taste it and then I cook, oh, there's little more salt, just do it again. So we see a lot of people, they do that. So so we cook, then we offer to the Lord and and then we eat, right? So that's external. Internal is in the mind. I'm controlling my urges. What kind of desire I get, right? What if the mind is under my control? Am I getting too angry unnecessarily? Anger is fine. So people getting angry is natural. Okay. But what kind of anger it is? Out of control anger, or are you using this anger to discipline your kid? Right? So, or to discipline your husband? That shouldn't be done, but these days people do it to discipline their husband also, but it's not required. And that's where Kali Yuga has become. But in the olden time, it was a very different system. But husbands were also like that. They will be like a sage inside the house. Now their husbands are not sages, right? So that's contentment. That is easy to understand, that whatever I have got in my life, I'm content with. A lot of people, they complain, "Oh, see what kind of husband I have got. He doesn't earn enough money, or my wife is not that beautiful. I should have married a more beautiful wife. I should have married a working wife." People, you'll see commenting on that. If you're close with some friends, they will comment. They will comment on these things. So we are not. If I have job, then you are not content, man. This is not good. So they are on the side, they are doing some business because I am from IIT. My all IIT friends are doing great. I'm not doing great. And I know people here we talk to them. And then austerity, tapas. They are they are unsatisfied. They're unsatisfied with their job. So they're not happy. Oh, means because I am from IIT, I should be now the CEO of the company because my other friends are CEOs. So you'll see a lot of people say, why people keep jumping, like one job to other job, this job, that job. See, jumping is okay when it's required, but when you see those people, you'll know that they're not happy, not content. They're not content. They're always looking for something. Okay. Because ultimately, when we are working job, we are doing business, what is the purpose? To take care of family, meet our needs. But if I over endeavoring, means I'm not content. I'm greedy. I have a greed. I have an ego. I want to show some people that I can also do that. Okay. And tapas, austerity. So austerity is now you, okay, you are earning money. You would also like to go and buy things, enjoy things. But then you say that, hey, it's not needed. I live a simple, minimalistic life. Other people are buying car, other people are buying dresses. I don't care about that. What are my needs? I'm doing my needs. When the fasting comes, the Ekadashi on this, you are doing austerity, right? You are going on the pilgrimage. There may be, whenever you go to the pilgrimage, there are always challenges, right? But you are happy with that, whatever you have. So these are all, as a mother, you do a lot of austerity for your kids at the cost of making them happy. You don't take care of your own health. That's kind of austerity. For husband, you take care. So there's austerity we do. That's the Garasta's life austerity, right? And we should not be complaining with that. We should do as a seva bhav, right? Study. We have to study. So we should be studying the Shastras, what is the knowledge, and then we should be applying that. And surrender. They should be surrender that, we are part and parcel of the Lord. We should, whatever the Lord has been, I'm very grateful. I want to, there should be this mood of surrender. If there is a wife, and this is not the sexist comment, okay? It is written in Shastra, the wife should be surrendered to the husband, should be totally. So many times, they say, you see, lot of women, when they're living in the house, they're not taking care of themselves because they're so busy. But they go out, they dress themselves very nicely. So once I heard in the comment that women should always dress for their husband because that's what they should please them. right? Otherwise not required. Similarly, for the husband, they should please their wife. Like whatever they are earning, whatever they're doing, their focus should be that I have to, okay, this is the one girl I have in my life. I had some sense gratification need. They should be looking out. They shouldn't be trying to, do all the kind of flirting and all those stuff. So those are things not required, and those can all be considered as a part of the austerity. Okay. So these are the yama niyama. Asanas that you understand. Pranayama, controlling the breath, right? There are 10 kind of life years. Okay, so controlling all those stuff. And then pratihara, this from 5 to 8, this becomes the advanced stage. Pratihara is withdrawal of the senses. So I get good control of my senses, right? If the urges come, I can control and I am peaceful. Right? I want to eat a lot, but I can fast for 7 days. And then no problem, I can do that fasting. So that's controlling the senses. So pratihara. So it's becoming advanced stage. People can really survive on air also. Also yogi, they are yogi who can survive on air or no air at all. After that, they can go no air. The pratihara. You'll find very few authentic people in the world. And when I say few, probably the few you can only count on who can do this. Concentration. Now they are in a dharana stage. They are, once they get to an object, they can focus on that dharana. So they can, let's say they can focus on Kṛṣṇa. So they can concentrate on Kṛṣṇa as a personality. Dhyana is deep meditation. Now they can focus even on the each limb of the Kṛṣṇa, from one limb of the Kṛṣṇa, other limb of Kṛṣṇa. They are totally into more intense focus. So that's called dhyana. And the samadhi is completely in trance. There is no awareness of anything else than the object of your worship. That's called samadhi. Okay?
So it's showing like that it's an ascent.
Ascent, Prabhuji, yes. From one and two is required, like a prerequisite. Then I am learning asana. So the whole purpose, this is what Madhuchand Prabhu said one very nice. I don't know if you remember. The whole purpose of the yoga system is to able to sit like this properly in a good straight posture. That is the whole purpose of the yoga system. Why? So that I can do my chanting nicely. Because that's a samadhi. If you're doing chanting nicely, you're chanting and you are just focused on the Lord. And then you're totally in samadhi because you're thinking, you can seeing, then the Lord is revealing, you can see his form, you're totally in it, you don't want to come out of it. Somebody can even go and beat you, kill you, don't care, you are just there in samadhi. You probably may not even notice it. So the whole purpose of the yoga system is to able to sit like this properly. Yes, for long, 8 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours. Yes, because now you have done the pratihara, you have gone to dharana. That is the whole purpose of this yoga system, right? Okay, so asana, pranayama. Okay, so now, yes, Mataji, yes. So now we were on which verse? Okay, so I came from, okay, now I'm going to the verse 5, right? So verse 4 I finished. Okay, now let's go to verse 5. Udharet atmana atmanam natmanam avashe deite
Atmanam avashedet.
Atmeva he atmano bandhur
Atmevo he atmano bandhur.
Atmeva ripur atmanaha.
Meva ripur atmana.
One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So we say the mind is a friend or a foe. What do you think? It's both. What we want it to be? A friend. So uncontrolled mind is a enemy because what it does? It will make you do the things. So we become if we are a sense gratifier, if you see, if I am a sense gratifier, other people are sense gratifier, they're under the control of the mind. I want to go for movie. That's it. Husband is not happy, fight. I'm like, I'm under the control of mind. Husband say that I want to go to places. Wife is not ready, fight. So one must deliver himself with the help of the mind. So we have to be able to control the mind. So word Atma denotes body, mind, and soul, depending upon different circumstances. So this is very important. Atma can refer to depending on the context. If you're a developer, you know, like overloaded function. If you're especially a developer, a coder, you would know overloaded function, right? So, and there one function can be used for multiple things. So similarly, Atma word is just like that. You'll see Atma written, but then depending on the context, it can denote body, mind, or the soul. What, Prabhuji? What? Polymorphism, yes, yes, yes. Okay. For man, mind is the cause of bondage and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense object is the cause of bondage and mind detached from the sense object is the cause of liberation. It's from the Upanishad, Amrita Bindu. Therefore, the mind which is always engaged in Krishna consciousness is the cause of the supreme liberation. So mind control is very important and you will realize very practically when we are doing the seva, our mind is focusing on Krishna. And through that, we are controlling the mind. We are developing the taste to go and do the seva for Krishna. So you will go more like even though you are very busy, you'll say that, oh, you know, I should go for 2 hours, this is my seva time. And then you will develop more taste. You would like to go and do more seva, right? You develop the taste for that. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yanta avatamana अनात्मन तु शत्रुत्वे वत् वर्तेत एमेव शत्रुवत्. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. The purpose of practicing Eightfold Yoga is to control the mind in order to make it a friend in discharging the human mission. Unless the mind is controlled, the practice of yoga is simply a waste of time. So see, all the yoga what we are doing, if it is not able to control the mind, then we are not doing the proper yoga. Real yoga practice entails meeting the Paramatma within the heart and then following his dictation. For one who takes to Krishna consciousness directly, perfect surrender to the dictation of the Lord follows automatically. So real, I was talking right to Pratihara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. The focus is on the Lord. That Lord is Paramatma. So the Lord appears in in a form. It says that he is thumb size. So that Paramatma appears as a thumb side at the four-handed form. Okay. And then one is able to focus on that. So that revelation will happen once people are doing this eight yogic siddhi, then they will be able to do that. And then we're able to do all the dhyana. They will be able to do all the dhyana. And through that, they will be start getting all the siddhis. That people become more interested in the siddhis. Text 7. Jitatmana prasantasya Paramatma samahita Sitosana sukha dukkhesyu Tatha mana pamaneyo. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. For he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. So now there are three levels. So this is a good concept. Even whether anybody is doing aṣṭāṅga-yoga or not, these three stages of elevation we can use as a parameter as we are practicing bhakti yoga also.
What are the stages? 3 stages?
I'll talk about. So 3 stages. Okay. So this is the first stage. So as one is able to control the mind and their senses, and they are able to, then they will be able to see the Lord in their heart. And this kind of a man, they are not getting distressed by the happiness and the sorrow. They will see the happiness and sorrow like a heat and cold. Oh, it will come, it will go away. Honor and dishonor is the same thing. Somebody comes, slaps you, or somebody comes, give you a lot of sweet, for you will treat both the person as the same. Okay. High stage. You see how many people they can handle the happiness and distress at the equal footing. Even if, let's say they do that, can they handle the honor and dishonor? Handling the honor and dishonor becomes even harder. And you'll see as we grow, people that don't come and they don't pay obeisances to you, they don't say hello to you, then you feel, oh, that person said hello to everybody, didn't say hello to me. Right? People feel bad about that. So that's the first stage when people are growing in the sense control. The mind must admit some superior dictation and follow it. The effect of controlling the mind is that one automatically follows the dictation of the Paramatma or super soul. So that effect of controlling the mind is that one automatically. So what happens when I'm controlling the mind? Then Paramatma will say, oh, the mind is, let's say there's a lot of noise going on. Paramatma is always trying to talk to us. But there's so much of noise is going, we don't hear it. Once we reduce the noise, then we can hear Paramatma. Paramatma will give you the direction. Sridhar, go study. Sridhar, go do chanting. 16 round today, 64 round tomorrow. Okay, so Paramatma will direct, inspire us. Inspire just doesn't like inspire. Like there's a inner desire, I want to do it. Okay, so that's what Paramatma will dictate. The devotees of the Lord is unaffected by the dualities of material existence, namely distress and happiness, cold and heat. This state is practically samadhi or absorption in the Supreme. So this stage is practically samadhi. One is got very close to the samadhi stage. And this is very similar to Bhagavad Gita verse 12 and 13 in chapter 2. Remember? Sitosana matra sparshas kaunteya, sitosana suddukta, right? Agma panyo nitya, tam tatasva bharata. Right? So he says that, Krishna says that, Arjuna, these are just like the summer and happiness and distress are just like a summer and winter season. They come and go away. One should not get bewildered and they should tolerate it. Okay, so it's like that. Now, verse 8, Jnana Vijnana Tript Atma Kutastato Vijit Indriya Yukta Iti Uchyate Yogi Samalostrasham Kanchanaha. A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebble, the stone, or gold, as the same. So this is the higher level than the previous one. So I said 3 stages, right? The first, once person is getting to a high level of samadhi, one, no happiness, no distress, all the same thing. Respect, disrespect, the same thing. Now, higher than that is whether it's a pebble or a stone or a gold is the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay, so there is a story that somebody came to one of the Goswami, the 6th Goswami, I think it's the Rupa Goswami. Somebody told him that, oh, Rupa Goswami has the this stone. Touchstone, thank you. Touchstone. Touchstone, you know what it is? You touch anything, it will become gold. Want one? So he came and he said that, yes, Rupa Goswami, I've heard that you have it. Can I get it? Oh, yeah, you can get it. Then he's telling how easily he's telling he can get it. He must be having something more expensive. That's the reason he's telling that you take it. Then he asked, do you have something more expensive than that? He said, yes, I do. Can I get that? Yes, you can get it, but first you have to throw this. Okay, he takes it, he throws it into the Ganges. Okay. And he says, tell me what is the next thing. Then he talks about the bhakti. That this is the most precious, right? Because see, touchstone, I'm getting the gold, but through the bhakti, I'm getting Kṛṣṇa. There's no, and once you go back to Kṛṣṇa, in the spiritual planet, everything is a desired tree. You ask the tree, it will give you anything. You think, right? Kalpabriksha. All the cows are the Kamdhenu cows. They give ample milk, right? So there's a wonderful description. Everything is jewel and everything. So these things like turning into gold is a very small thing. But these things, material things, what the person, when you are in Vaikuntha and with Krishna, you are always thinking how to serve the Lord. You are always relishing the bliss of the love and affection of Krishna. You're always in such a high state that nothing really matters to you. So this, like it's a goal. It's just like a chiller thing. So no one can understand the transcendental nature of the name, form, quality, and the pastime of Sri Krishna. Oh, Santosh Prabhu. Question, Prabhuji? Yes, bolo.
Prabhuji, you said Vaikuntha Lok, right?
Yes,
What's
Prabhuji.
the difference between Vaikuntha and Golok Vrindavan?
Okay, good question, Prabhu. Anybody would like to answer?
So
Bolo, Prabhuji.
maybe distant of the Manovega, maybe. I think
Okay,
so. I don't
okay, okay. So,
So
Spiritual planets, there are multiple planets. So all are Vaikuntha lokas where like different Vishnu forms are available. Like so there will be Vaikuntha planet where Lord Narasimha is supreme there. Like all the devotees who are inclined to Lord Narasimha, like we will pray Lord Narasimha, they serve us. Like the different Vishnu forms, we have different Vaikuntha loka. All are like in the spiritual world, which is 3/4 part of the entire.
so how long it takes?
So, but out of them, Goloka is like a golden jewel of the golden, necklace. Goloka is the topmost where Krishna is being served. Is that right? Prabhu?
So
yes, Prabhu. So the first,
So-
so first thing is the whole spiritual world can be called as the Vaikuntha Loka. Okay, the whole spiritual world is called as can be called as the Vaikuntha Loka. Then within that, all these then there are type of spiritual planet which Prabhu was trying to explain. Okay, and so confusion happens when I said Vaikuntha. I'm talking about the spiritual world, which is considered as like a Vaikuntha Loka, which is the Krishna's abode. Now within that, there are various divisions, right? There are Vaikunt, which is also called Vaikunt, right? So the state is, so you can say the name of the state is Vaikunt, or name of the country is Vaikunt, and there are states also which has the name as a Vaikunt. Okay, so within them there are multiple Vaikuntha where there is the Krishna is like a in the Narayana form with the four-handed Narayana form. Okay, and this all opulent, everybody is very opulent, even the citizens, they are all opulent, like a Vishnu form. Okay, but then there are higher realm within the Vaikuntha itself, and Goloka is the highest. Okay, so that's how once we go a little farther, we can one day have a class on the structure of the spiritual planet.
Got it. Yeah, thank you. Like New York, it has New York within New
Yes,
York State.
yes, that's a good example. Yes,
sorry, what was that?
New York. So New York is a state also. New York is a city also. So when we say Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha is a state, spiritual planet, but within that there are cities like the Vaikuntha. So if you can visualize, the material world is on the down, right? Spiritual world up, and the whole spiritual world can be named as called as Vaikuntha. Okay. Now within that Vaikuntha there are planets. They're all in the spiritual realm. Vaikuntha, different Vaikuntha planet, right? And then higher on that there is a Goloka as the highest. Goloka. Yeah, that's where Krishna lives. So everywhere Krishna is living. So this is the Achintya Sakti of Krishna. We think, oh, Krishna is living in Goloka, then who is living in the Vaikuntha Loka? No, that's also Krishna. That's the opulent form of Krishna. The kingly form of Krishna, living as Narayan. But then at home, so a judge, this is the example Prabhupada used to give. A judge in the high court and judge at the home. Judge in the high court, your honor. Judge at home, son making the dad a doggy, climbing on him and saying, go, 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 or horsey, making a horsey, go, go, go. Right? So Krishna form is just like that, homely form. So Goloka is his home. Vaikuntha planet is his working area. No one can understand the transcendental nature of the name, form, quality, and pastime of Shri Krishna, though he's materially contaminated through his materially contaminated senses. So we cannot. So this is the revelation will happen, right? As we are going, debating ourselves through our chanting, first the name of the Lord, we will be able to relish the name as that the Lord's name and Lord is non-different. So let's say you see Krishna, you suddenly, wow, your goosebumps and everything, you're like, you'll start crying and all those symptoms will happen, right? But then the same symptom will happen when we are chanting the name with the purity. You hear Krishna and you're getting the goosebump. You say Krishna, you cannot even talk. You're totally so much maddened. So that's the first revelation, name. Then the form appear. So first anybody you hear about Mr. So and you hear about the name, and then you see that person. So form appears. Then once you know somebody, okay, Sridhar, to know your quality, I need to start interacting with you. Then I will know your quality. And then pastime, what you do in the morning, what you do in the evening, what you do in the night. That is further thing. Because I started talking, we have a much better relationship. So then Lord's pastime will get revealed. So this gets revealed in a sequential order. Through his, but with the materially contaminated senses, we cannot see him. Only when one becomes spiritually saturated by transcendental service to the Lord, are the transcendental name, form, quality, and the pastime of the Lord is revealed to him. Right? So this is from Bhakti Rasam and Sindhu. Suhan Mitre Udasina.
Suhar Mitre Udasina.
Madhyasthe Devasya Bandhusu.
Madhyasate Devasya Bandhasu.
Bandhasu.
Sadhushveyapi cha papeshu.
Sadhu Save Abhikam
Sadhushvapita papesu.
Peshu
Sama buddhir visheshyate.
Samabuddhi
Samabuddhir
Vishamsate.
vishishyate.
A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest, well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, the neutrals, the mediator, mediators. It's not okay. Mediators,
Yeah.
mediators. Okay, mediators. The envious, friends and enemies, the pious and the sinners, all with an equal mind. So now at this, so this is even the further. So I said 3 stages. This is the highest. In this, the person, well, so he's considered the well-wisher. So they are well-wisher, affectionate benefactors, the neutrals, the mediators, and the even envious. So people can be inimical to you. They are ready to kill you, but you will also treat them same as you will treat your loved wife. Can you do that? Friends and enemies, pious and sinners, all with an equal mind. So this is like saintly person when they come. So there are like maybe a murderer will be sitting here, the very pious person sitting. They will treat everybody. Everybody is here for the knowledge. They'll talk equally. It's very hard. It's a further elevated state. Okay. So these are things as we are progressing, we can analyze our mind. Are we at that level? Are we thinking? Can we do that? Okay. So this is the first section we finished. Let me, yes, so we will stop here. Any question? Let me see in my PowerPoint, anything worth. When soul controls mind is the best friend. Okay, friend enemy, mind not in control. Then these are things what happens: drugs, people doing the suicidal, stress, mobile addiction, which we are all getting used to. Mind not control, right? Become a eater. We just keep eating, overeating, crime, couch potatoes, right? Facebook, Instagram. You guys know about this picture? We have talked about it. Anybody is new to this? Sridhar, पहली बार देख रहे हैं? मालूम है?
No, I don't recollect.
You don't recollect? Okay. So this is considered given in Katha Upanishad. These 5, so think like a chariot with the 5 horses. There is a chariot driver, there is a passenger. Okay, so it is compared here. There is a how if you have sense, mind, intelligence, and the soul. There's a metaphor. As a metaphor, it can be compared. So all these 5 horses are considered like a senses. Which are the 5 senses? Sridhar?
The sight, the
Hearing, touch,
the
smell,
and the
taste. Okay. So these are 5. So now these senses, so one condition be these horses are just running. They're going here and there, and the driver is not able to control, and the passenger is So what it happens? See, 5 horses are senses. The rein of the horses is the mind. The person who is controlling is intelligence, and the passenger is the soul. So when and the whole chariot is considered to be the body. Okay. So when for the materialistic person, this is what you see. Horses are running here and there in all direction. Mind is not totally in control. The senses are controlling the mind basically. The intelligence is following the dictate of the mind. Mind just gets you angry. Mind tell you, no, today I should go to eat burger. Even though doctor said burger, you should eat healthy food. But you'll say, no, no, no. Mind is once in a while, right? What it is. I'll eat. So intelligence agree with the whatever the mind is telling, and the soul is just scared, right? But now you take the other way around, where what should happen ideally? Soul should be giving because passenger should be telling where the chariot has to go. So soul should be telling that, my desire is that you should become Krishna conscious. So but for that, intelligence has to become strong. How the intelligence will become strong? By gaining the knowledge, right? And then the intelligence will tell the mind, this is what you should go and tell the senses. Okay, so this is how it should happen, but we do the other way around. So how to sharpen the intelligence? We have to study. This is what we are trying to do, and then we have to practice. Just studying and not practicing is not going to do anything, because when you go for the exam, you will fail because it's not practiced. So mind is a tool which we should come to use. We can either climb up or fall down in life through our own mind. So symptoms at Yoga Ruddha, of course, we talked about 7, 8, 9. Control mind, attain Paramatma, inner peace, right? That is the verse 7. 8 is neutral to heat, cold, happiness, distress. So that is the 7. Equal vision, 8 and 9. Pebbles and stones and gold are same. And then amongst the people, friends and enemies are the same. So first stage is neutral to heat, cold, happiness, distress. We talked about, right? And then equal vision. So that is the advanced. So this is much advanced. Okay. No, I do not have these qualities. So Arjuna is telling, I do not have these qualities. I would like to know how to get it. Okay. So Krishna is telling, do you have these qualities? Arjuna is telling, no, I don't have those qualities. And then further, the section will start. Okay. So next week we'll take it from there. We'll try to go and finish that as much as possible next week. Okay. So any other question online? Balu Prabhu, Gayatri Mataji.
Thank you for the
Shruti.
wonderful
Prabhuji.
explanation, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
really
Mataji.
like the aṣṭāṅga-yoga.
You like the aṣṭāṅga-yoga, Prabhuji?
Yes.
ठीक है प्रभु, समाधि में कब जा रहे प्रभु?
I wish.
So liking means that you have to practice, right?
I know. Yeah, exactly.
So Mataji, Gayatri Mataji, just make sure from tomorrow, Balu Prabhuji is just, or maybe from today, make sure he's getting into the Samadhi stage. Yes, Santosh Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, the question I have is related to prasadam or bhog that we offer to Krishna, right? How that, like, once we cook, do we take a part of the food we cooked and then offer to God and mix it to the food we eat, or
Yes, Prabhuji.
we offer the whole food and
No, Prabhu. That will be pretty odd, right? You make the big amount of food and then you go to a small altar and put the whole food and then so
yeah.
Krishna has inconceivable powers. Let me talk a little bit about it. So first, the way of cooking. Way of cooking is ideally we should be clean. We should have taken shower. That is the right way to do it. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Then still try to wash yourself. Make sure that you are clean. But ideally, you should have taken shower. Okay. So in the morning after taking shower, we should cook in the clean utensils. And while cooking, make sure you're not listening to Bollywood movies, songs, anything. It's a good mood that you are thinking they are cooking for Krishna. Even if it's not there, okay, you're cooking for your husband, you're cooking for your wife, you're cooking for your whatever family members, but cook with the cleanliness. Don't taste the food. So when we are cooking, we are not tasting the food. Of course, we don't put onion, garlic. We don't cook in the utensil we have used for the onion, garlic cooking or the meat cooking. We don't do that, right? So we cook with the cleanliness. Um, Now, after that, we take in Krishna. The offering plate should be different than our own eating plate. So it can be anything. It can be steel also. If you can afford, have the silver plate. If you cannot afford, that's totally fine. It should be a separate plate. Okay, separate steel plate. And then we take out part of it. We put tulsi ji, because we are not cooking with a lot of purity in the heart. So I'm not thinking about Krishna. I'm thinking about my son. My son needs the Chinese dish today, or my daughter needs the sandwich today. All right. So we are cooking with that mood, and then I'm cooking. So we know that I haven't cooked for Krishna, but then once we offer the tulsi leaf, then the smell of tulsi attract Krishna. So then Krishna will come to eat the bhoga. If you don't pull the tulsi leaf, then Krishna will say, "Oh man, this is not worth eating." But because we have added tulsi ji, Krishna will come and eat. Now, how the eating works? So, Krishna, you put the bhoga, little plate, and then you put it. Okay, now let me. Okay, when you go to the deities, it can be picture, it can be deity, anything. Most of the people would have picture at home. So you offer it to after you put the tulsi, you go, and then there are prayers, but you don't. The prayer, it's a prayerful mood is very important. I can teach you the prayer also, but the prayerful mood is very important. You say with the prayerful heart, Krishna, or your deities, whoever is there, that please accept this food I have cooked for you. Please accept it with a very wonderful heart. And then you cover the room or cover the curtain or put something so that they can eat nicely. And then you go out, right? 10 minutes, give them time, at least 10 minutes to eat. If it's a small offering, fruits, 5 minutes. But for if you have given the dinner or lunch to Krishna, then 10 minutes. So you leave. Then after that, you come, you ring the bell. So just you are coming to the someone's house, right? So you knock at the door, tuck tuck, right? So you just ring the bell, and then you take the offering, take the plate, then you go and mix it in all the respective different bhoga. Now that bhoga has become the prasad. When we bring it to Krishna, that's a bhoga. But once the Krishna has taken it, that becomes prasad. Now the question comes, how Krishna is eating? It is just a ritual you are doing. You guys are all, sentimentalist. You just think that where this is the same food you offered, is the food is coming the same, right? Sridhar, question आता है ना? Answer क्या है?
The offering of the food itself is filling for the Lord.
Good attempt. So Krishna's senses are not like us. We eat through mouth. Can you eat with eyes?
But yeah.
It's hard. You can try. So we cannot eat with eyes. Krishna can eat with eyes. All Krishna's senses can work like the other senses. So Krishna is very kind, because he knows that if he just eats, then what we are going to eat. And there are stories in our book where Krishna has came and ate, and the father got very angry at the son. He think the son is eating the prasad. Slap. Right, but the son was so elevated, when he comes and cries. So this is a wonderful story. Let me tell you about this. So and he didn't get slapped. I'm just telling, like, if a father was angry, he thought that son is lying. So father, very elevated devotee. Okay, so he has to go for some work. So he told his wife that you arrange for the bhoga. So wife gave it to son and asked Gopal, you go and offer to the deity. Gopal goes and offers to a deity and say, eat. And then he goes out of the room. He comes back. Still Prasad is there. He starts crying. My dad is going to come and get angry at me that you didn't eat. Well, you're supposed to eat, right? A small child. You start crying. And so sincerity. Krishna came, he ate. And then he comes, plate is empty. He comes and says a plate. Mom says, oh, where is the prasad? He said, this is the empty plate. Where is the prasad? Empty plate. Krishna ate. Right? Mother is thinking he ate. Then father came. Mother is telling that, Gopal is lying. What happened? He's telling that Krishna ate. Father was smart. He cooked the bhoga, gave it to Gopal. Go and offer. Gopal comes, offers to the deity. Goes out. Deity don't eat. Comes again, cries. Deity eat. And father is looking whether the son is eating or not. Then he says the Lord ate. Then he takes shelter of his son. Like that time, the son becomes his teacher. So age is not important. The purity of heart is more important. So deities eat. Deities walk also. The Sakshi Gopal, a very wonderful story sometime later, okay? A very beautiful story where the deity walked to save the devotee because devotee was in trouble and they have made the promise and devotee was only Gopal was the witness. So his name is Sakshi Gopal, which was a Sakshi, means who witnessed it. So the deity walked to prove it. So deity can do all those things. It depends how much sincere we are. So, but the thing is, deity don't physically eat, they eat through their eyes. They eat through their eyes and then they return the food so that we can take it. If they eat it, then we can never make the prasad. It's not mixed. Then what I'm eating is a sin. So deity eat with the eyes. Okay? So that's where the level of faith becomes. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. But then there's experience. There are other people, they have done it. And they are telling, the Shastras are telling it. Okay? So deity eat with their eyes. So after that, then we are taking the prasad. Then we eat the prasad ideally we should eat the prasad with a very prayerful mood. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa. You have given this prasad to me. Thank you very much. So we make a prayer. There is a prayer for that also. But initially, I'm not going to the prayer. First, I'm going into the mood. Go into the mood. Okay? And I'll share the prayers. Okay? The prayers are simple to offer the bhoga. First, you think about your gurus. In this case, if you don't have a guru, you think about the Prabhupada. You made the offering, okay? A pranayam mantra for Prabhupada. Then you you read the prayer for God Nitai. Then you make the prayer to the Krishna, Radha Krishna, and then we give. The simple prayer. It only takes 1 minute to recite that prayer, and then the simply prasad prayer is very simple. Okay. Is that helpful to you, Santosh Prabhu? You asked a simple question. I gave the little elaborate answer to you.
Yeah, no, this is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking this question. That is telling me that you are seriously thinking how to offer everything. What we eat should be prasad. That should be our motto. Everything we eat should be prasad. If we are eating anything else, we are eating sin. That's what we read in chapter 3. 3:13, 13th verse in chapter 3 says that if we are not, it's not offered food, then we are eating sin. Okay, so it's a serious matter. Human body is very, very important and precious. Let's make best use of it. All right. Any other question, Prabhus? Mataji? Hima Mataji, any question? Shruti Mataji?
No, Prabhu.
Okay, then we'll stop the recording. We'll end the class. It's a long weekend. You all have a wonderful time ahead.